I have clicked the record button. Yo, what up? Everybody at home, everybody over on YouTube. I have with me a special guest, Barrett Bryant of the playtest slash design team. We record top 8s, so if this is your first UniVersus video with me, because of critical stuff, go check those out. But we are going to be doing a bit of a full set review for the Heroes of Exandria set that is coming out here relatively soon. March 7th. Isn't that correct? I don't have a yeah, March 7th. You can find your local game stores and all that jazz. We've done a couple of previews here on the channel, but this is going to be literally, we are doing 211 cards. We are talking about them. We were doing something before this, and Barrett was like, hey, do you want me on for the review? And I was like, that'd be very, very fun. So Barrett, thanks for being on, man. It's very cool to have you.
Heck yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited. I'm not gonna ramble about all the I've known these cards for a long time, obviously, but I'm more excited about genuinely your opinions, what chat thinks of these cards, how successful they think they're going to be in the format, and yeah, I can give a little bit of insight on how I also agree and or disagree with those ideas.
Yeah, and so if you're in Twitch chat, I'm going to be putting up a small poll on every card of do you like the card, yes, no, or meh. Please feel free to 1, 2, and 3 in chat. Give your opinions and thoughts on the cards, as I know that UVS employees do watch these videos and see the feedback here of how cool or rad or awesome they are. So here's the goal of the videos. I'm going to be splitting this up into a ton of different videos, and they're all going to have the same intro. We're going to run through all of the air, chaos, earth, fire, life, order, void, water attuned cards. From there, we're going to go to the infinity slash multi-symboled cards. From there, we're going to do all of the ultra rares and then all of the secret rares. And so with that, let's get rockin'. And there it is. Moving on to Earth Attuned. We have Exploring Amon. It's a 1/5/2 mid block. I love the art in this card. It's so beautiful.
Should be on a mat.
I love it. Is it?
I said, should it be on a mat?
Oh, should be. Yeah. Maybe not. It doesn't have a character's face on it. I think you should have a big Dub's character's face on it. Enhance if you have 3 or more face down foundations, the deck gets +4 damage. Period. Enhance if your rival has 3 or more face down foundations, this deck gets -3 speed. Bottom enhance, a little tough to play. I'm surprised it wasn't like -5 speed, because it does clog the card pool. So like it's essentially like -2 speed as an action from your hand. That's not great. You got to figure out how to get this thing out of there. But just, hey, Exploring Amon and just slamming it down like, hey, +4 damage on my throw. Catch. Catch. Feels pretty decent.
This is a like similar space as Magic Boost from the Chaos Attune stuff about these spell cards that stay in your card pool. There are some synergies for that later on as we get to some of the more high impact cards down the line. This is in that similar space. This one requires a little bit more synergy with either you having face downs or your opponent having face downs. But the modal 2 different enhances I think is maybe playable for if your deck is doing this thing. Yeah, it's going to be a small case scenario, but I think it's not bad. It's just not great either.
Yeah. Ensnaring Roots. Question for you, chat. Who's the character on this card? Because I have no idea who this is. I just don't know. Chat, I need your help. Ensnaring Roots, 4/3, 2 high block, 3 mid for 5 range spell. Blitz, discard a card, your rival flips 1 foundation. Blitz, if your rival has 3 or more face down foundations, draw 1 card, period. Man with Angry Bird Slingshot, my goat. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, this is a fine card. I think if they just like have more than 3 face down foundations, draw a card. This card's just not very good on turn 2. I think discard a card for my rival to selectively flip a foundation with the stats that are on this card does not feel incredible. It does hit a little harder than average, but it is very blockable as a 3 mid for 5. Maybe if it had a couple more stats. I don't know.
I think this card's actually, I think you're giving this a little bit worse credit. I think in the flip decks that as we move on through the support, this card is going to be fine as the forward if cantrip card that just draws you a card. It just doesn't work right away on turn 2 typically. It'll work easily on turn 3 if you're doing the game plan. That being said, it also feeds itself. That top ability, discard 1 card, isn't a cost, remember, if we have cards like Feral Shriek and other discard synergy cards. So, like, this card even has room for, like, Pony to play because you're already playing other things. And it could draw you a bonus card, which is stuff that Pony wants. Again, I think if you're focusing on flipping your opponent's foundations, this card's not unplayable. It's just probably not going to be a 4 of in those decks.
I guess that's fair. I still just like, again, I think that if the top ability was a blitz and the bottom ability was an enhance, or even vice versa, truly, like maybe there's like a world where like I want to actively play this card, but them just both being blitzes is like, eh. I just like, I'm there. Chat saying this is Nyla. Can I post the wiki link? Technically you are subbed. You may post the wiki link. This is Nyla, apparently.
That name sounds familiar when working on this set, but I don't know.
Fair. Chat, enjoy that. Grasping Cat's Claw. Very cool critical role spell. 6/3, like from the game. 6/3, 3 low for 6, 2 mid block, throw spell. Blitz, spin momentum, commit 3 rival face down foundations, period. This card's dope. this card is how you kill people in this character. This is an opener. Late game opener, spin momentum, stun 3 is very good. They turn them sideways. 6 damage,
I think
6
yes,
damage throw?
but I
This is
also
sick.
think no. This one to me is one of those 6/3s that I don't know if it's worth it and worth the squeeze.
But we can give it 4 damage.
Sure, I get it. I think about how people are playing the game right now, and I don't know how many of them were going to have that many face downs, and if they do, how many of them haven't been blown up already by their opponent's abilities to cycle their stage and stay at like a safety 10 like most people do.
Sure.
I think it's going to be really good against, like, we saw Han Zoe win Worlds, right? So, like, that character has a bunch of face downs at any given time. But they're also, I think, Tam, typically, if you're going back into your turn where you would play an attack like this, your opponent taps all their face downs already to pass checks. So in that case, I just think it's a 6 difficulty, 3 low for 6 throw with the spell keyword on it. I don't know if that's good enough. I don't think it's good enough.
But I can give it 4 damage, Barrett.
I think you're grasping at straws.
I think Cat's grasping. I think this card is very cool as an opener, as a rare. If you are doing the my rival has no face up foundation kind of ideas. With that said, is it better to do Grasping Cat's Claw or like a double overhead slam, the muscular card of just like, hey, you just can't block it, you're not allowed to? Probably the latter rather than the former. But I think in Critical Role Spotlight, I think this card's totally okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Up next, Hunter's Arrow, 3/3 low for 3. Ally ranged weapon, 2 mid block, blitz. If you have a backup or ally asset in your stage, this deck gets +1 speed and +1 damage. 4 diff, 4 low for 4. If you're playing the game correct.
I think this card's fine.
This card's okay.
3 diff.
3 diff gets a little bigger than rate.
Yep.
Got a scary
it has
bear
the
on
ally keyword. I guess that's not irrelevant again this set. So I think that's fine.
Might of Stone, 4/3, 4 high for 4. Stunning, crazy art. Kent Davis is going too hard. Stun 1 spell, 2 low block, blitz, discard a card, stack gets 1 damage for each face down foundation in your rival's stage. Again, another discard a card to do an ability on your Earth 4 diff attack. This is absolutely a way to kill your rival. If you can figure out how to give this thing any amount of speed, discard a card, I'm going to give it +9 damage. Catch. Here's a 4 diff 13 damage move. Great.
The good news is, Tam, we already have ways to give the speed doing this kind of package, and it's called Thunderous Roar when it came out with the reprints of Byakko stuff.
Oh,
so
yuck.
the fact that we have a foundation that synergizes for speed, and now we have an attack that scales in that damage department.
Wow.
Stun 1 to boot, low block on a 4 diff. This card's pretty good.
Yeah, this card gets big. Nice and big. And this is a rare, so this is going to be foil. Man, I hope the foil's very good on this.
You want to grab it?
Do you have one? Oh, you
Yeah, I
do.
got it
You
right
have,
here.
you have the whole set. Oh, dope. Moon's Wrath. The moon haunts you. 4-3. Wait. 4-3. Too high for a 6. 2 mid block. This deck gets a speed for each face down foundation in your rival stage. This card's dope. Excuse me?
Yeah.
This card's very
So
good
this
in this
is-
character.
Yeah, so this is a similar one. This one doesn't have the discard a card cost on it, as the Might of Stone one did. But those two cards, this and the Might of Stone, very much go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Like this one gets speed and scales, so as long as you find ways of putting more damage on it, it feels really, really good. Luckily, because it's a spell, I think there are plenty of ways of buffing up the damage on this, and plenty of characters, of course. So it's just about who you want to do this kind of flip package in. I'll take it out of the sleeve, but I guess it's kind of, I don't know how well you can.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that looks super good.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
Yeah,
this card's great. This card's fantastic.
I mean, this is a 4 diff 6 damage move that like gets scaling damage for kind of for free.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's for each readied face down foundation that your rival has.
No, it's just total.
He's got 3 of them, 6 of them sideways. It's unblockable for 6 damage on a 4 diff.
So,
Is very good.
Yeah. So this, not the last one, although you could probably still find room for it in this character. This one is a Byaku card.
Yeah.
Byaku puts a ton of damage on moves, and this scales its own speed based off of how long we've been playing the game and how big you've built your stage. And all I have to do is press my Byaku button.
Great
This
2
card-
mid block. Yeah, this one's good.
Going to be very good.
I'll move on to Precise Arrow. It's a 4-3, 4 mid for 4 with a 2 high block range weapon. Blitz. If your rival has more face down foundations than you, this deck is +3 speed. 7 mid for 4 on a 4 diff. So like he's been playing the Earth package correctly. I think he's great. Figure out how to put some damage on it, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, I agree. This one gets very fast for a 4 diff as long as you have fulfilled the requirements. But yeah, you got to figure out how we're putting damage on it.
Terrible gloves though. Why are the middle 2 fingers on the glove gone? Like I
Those
get
are
the
archery,
no.
archery gloves.
I get it here. Oh, sorry, I get it here, right? Because we're holding the string with this one. These two are off. Why is it the middle 2 fingers here and the pinky and the pointer finger are covered? That doesn't make any sense to me. We'll move on. To Predator's Pounce. 5-3, 5-5 for 5-2 low block. Ally Fury Slam. Response after attack deals damage. Your rival flips 1 foundation. It is their choice. Probably just better things to be doing on your 5 diff than it flips. I guess if you care about the keywords, the low block, the zone, it's fine.
I mean, being an ally matters, I guess. Being a slam maybe matters, but this sure is not Dragon Strike, right?
Yeah, this sure is not Dragon Strike. Misplay. Thank you for the reset, buddy. Appreciate that. Honest Foundations Family Hug. 1-5-2 high block enhance. Commit your ally attack gets +2 speed. Hey, we've seen a couple moves that have ally on them. Neat.
It being a 1 diff probably makes this playable, but only if you're doing this thing. I can't remember if it does or not. I don't think it does. So never mind.
Say again?
I couldn't. This card being a 1 diff and buffing your ally speeds, I think is great. I was for a second had to remember some of Tarian's attacks have ally on them. I was wondering if Bedazzled Helmblast did. It does not.
I don't think so. No.
That's the powerful 5 one. So,
Yeah.
So good thing.
Yeah. Nature Calls. 2-5, 2 mid block, response tenacious, so playable while committed. Flip. After this foundation is committed to pass a check to play a block, your rival flips 1 foundation. Bear, what are they doing in this art? I just don't understand. They're just.
Oh, I guess they're pissing. Oh, that's probably what they're doing.
Oh,
I
no,
didn't realize. Anyway, all jokes aside, I think this card's actually very good.
Yeah, I agree. There was an old Thunderhawk card, an old T-Hawk card that was like a 2/4 that did this same thing, but without the flip cost. And so you would just like have 2 or 3 of these out. You'd go to block, turn those all sideways, and go flip 3, and you would do it every single turn. The fact that it is I flip 1, you flip 1, I think is totally okay. The determining factor of it is though there's unflipping synergies inside of this set, and so
Yeah.
being able to commit, flip it, you flip one, actually I'll unflip one, and it was this one. We've got there. I think this card is very slow, which I think that this is totally fine.
Yeah, I think that it's slow, but I think it is good, and like you said, direct synergy with the unflip package stuff. But I think having the ability to do your offensive turn, hopefully flipping your opponent's foundations with your attacks, and then after you're done attacking, building these, says that when you try and attack back into me, I now have a way to continue to flip your board on my defensive turn, your offensive turn, so that when we go back around, my Might of Stones get even bigger, or my Moon's Wraths or whatever get a little bigger.
Yeah.
So it is good, but yeah, it is a 2-diff. It's going to be tight space because of cards like this.
Prepare for an ambush. 2/5/3 mid block. Response flip after you make a check to block. That check gets +1 for each face down rival foundation max 5. Hey, I blocked this one. This one?
Yeah.
We blocked it. Being able to flip 2 of these and just say I've got +10 to my check to block says that like you're gonna be even blocking like majority on the move type of ideas. Yeah. I'm gonna commit my whole stage and go for the big swing. And since it's response speed, not even enhanced speed, like you can deal with the flash attacks. You can deal with the unfair ones by ambushing them with the pluses to their check. This card's dope. This card's super dope.
This one makes Determined Advance a much less scary card.
True.
Any way to give minus speed without actually interacting with that stat is really good. So yeah, this is gonna compete with 2 difficulty cards, space, and the kind of flip decks. But the fact that you can mount a good offense depending on how many face downs you give your opponent, you also have very good defense. Feels pretty good.
Yeah. Questionable Brew. 2/5/3 mid block. Response Tenacious, so playable while committed. After this card is unflipped, gain 2 health. Enhance commit. This attack gets -2 speed. Another one of those, commit for -2 speed cards, but this is a 2/5, not a 1/5. And it's probably just because of how good it is on Keyleth being able to unflip this to gain the health and then re-ready it back and then continue.
I don't think this one's very good, but
yeah,
I think 2 difficulty for commit -2 speed at its like floor is still not good enough.
nah.
And
Maybe they add a
gaining
better
life,
block.
yeah, and even the gaining life here, I think as we keep going in this package, there are going to be better cards to unflip, as we've already seen beforehand, and there will be more going forward. This is just not the one.
Shapeshifter's Skill.
Hey, look.
2/5/3 mid block. Enhance flip 1 foundation, your attack gets +1 speed. And then response after this card is unflipped, draw 1 card, period. Keel's gonna be
this is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one. Also, just for the fun part of this card, the enhance flip 1 foundation line of text. 1 for speed is very good. 2 lets you use and reuse outwit abilities, which I always look out for and think is very cool. For now, any characters that have Earth plus an outwit symbol. I think stuff like that is awesome. I love it. This card's also a rare, so it's going to be foil. I think that's awesome. And it draws you cards. This is going to be one of the good ones to unflip. Sadly, this one's not Tenacious, which makes sense, right? Because this is a better ability.
Yeah.
So this is kind of one of those face downs you want to keep readied in your stage.
No, I think this is super dope. Especially like I'm looking at this card, honestly in like Ochako 4, right? An Earth Attuned Ochako 4.
True.
I will flip this. I will flip this guy and hit you. I will ready it back. I will unflip it. I will draw a card. I will flip it. I will play Falling Heel Strike. I will unflip for +2 speed. I will redraw another card. I will flip this for more damage. I think Shapeshifter's Skill and Ochako 2 are going to go hand in hand just for the amount of redraw that you're going to get off of this card alone. It's very crazy. Same idea with Archaeologist. Cool. Up next, we've got Swift Change. 1/5/2 mid block Tenacious Flip. This attack gets -1 speed, -1 damage. Draft chaff. I think the fact that it is Tenacious is very good. I think this is
Yeah.
exactly where you want Chaff to be. This is the
Yeah.
spot.
I don't see this ever making it in one of my decks, but yeah, it's not gonna feel bad to play at all during sealed or limited.
Yeah. Warden's Protection. I think this card is correct, dude. 3/5, 2 low block, unique allies spell. Response once per turn. After one of your foundations is flipped by a rival effect, unflip one foundation, : That means they have to target this one. If they target anything else, I just unflip the thing that you flipped. If you are actively trying to flip my card, it has to be selective so that you can hit Warden's Protection. Otherwise, it's not. And then enhance, commit, sacrifice a face-down foundation, : build a foundation from your hand. So you just like slam a card in that you want from your hand into your stage by sacrificing a blank one. I'll commit, sacrifice a blank one, and then rebuild one ready. This card is so good. I talk about staples. I want to put this as a one of in every deck that can legally play it. This card is so good.
I think that bottom enhance is good enough to do that, right? Because I think sometimes there are just the way that we tailor our decks and people in general when they play this game, like the foundations in your deck are meant to push your game plan / keep you alive. This enhance is playable on either turn. It says you can build this after you're done attacking, sneak build in a defensive foundation that your opponent didn't see coming. If you have unique defensive foundations, this allows you to build in a second copy of them from your hand if after you use the first one. And then just like you said, it's a must flip target from your opponent. If not, they can't use any sort of flip abilities. And this having the ally keyword means it directly synergizes with other things that can even build this card into your stage.
Yeah, it's like sneaking in cards like Sacrifice for the Cause just seems really silly, man. Like, I know it's a hand tax, but
you're thinking too low here, my friend. This card says Beak, Inspiration, or Manipulations of Zeke Yeager, my guy.
I'll just put the 5 diff in. It's so crazy.
I'm just saying, on Pony, you get to play this and Manipulations.
You're gonna make me play Manipulation Pony,
right? Is it Manipulations? Yeah, fire,
Manipulations of Fire. Yeah, it's a Titan or ranged pony. Ugh.
I'm just saying, if the Byaku deck that people hasn't built yet is the Manipulations of Zeke Yeager, that's a 5 foundation for 5 damage. Here's a way to help you build it in as Byaku.
Beast Summoning gets to re-ready this.
Yeah, yes it does. I told you, man.
I'm gonna move on.
Pony's got a little bit of stocks, even though you're losing some stuff.
Wild Healing, 2/5, 3 high block spell. Response after this card is unflipped, gain 1 health. Response commit after you flip 1 or more foundations, gain 2 health. A lot of health gain happening here. I think it's a 2/5/3 high block. It's just like not where it's at though.
I think this is like the coolest one of you can put into this deck's package. But at the end of the day, I probably think it gets cut because of its stats. But repeatable life gain is pretty good. I don't think we should sell that short. And it just says if at any point you pay a flip cost on a foundation, you can gain life. That isn't bad. I don't want anyone to think that that's not a bad effect. Its stats, though, means that this probably doesn't go more than a 1 of in anybody's deck.
Yeah. Woodland Distraction, 1/6, 2 low block. Response tenacious, so playable as committed. After this card is unflipped, your rival commits 1 foundation. Keyleth says commit, unflip a card, right? How crazy?
Yeah.
But it's commit a foundation, unflip a card, right?
Yep.
It doesn't say commit, unflip the card you committed.
Correct. So
but this one does say that it's allowed to be the one that you commit and unflip. Correct. So I commit 1, you commit 1.
If this is already a face down in Keyleth's stage, you are allowed to just commit this, unflip it, and your opponent must commit 1 to begin the turn.
Yeah.
I commit 1, you commit 1. It's the minimum that this deck can be in Keyleth. Yeah.
Yeah, I think as a 1/6/2 low block, you put it in, and I think you're totally fine. I think this is a totally fine card to toss into the deck.